Hey guys, so for a lot of reasons, we cannot go silent on the Aaron Spencer case. We need to keep it going. Now, I know I've been doing little videos on some updates and information on this case, but let me show you a sort of collectively collaborated effort in a time that people have invested and why it is important to keep Aaron Spencer's story out there. Take a look at what everyone else has had to say and why it is important.
Today I brought up the Aaron Spencer case, and thankfully a lot of people wanted to talk about it with me. Naturally, when this first happened back in October of 2024, it had a ton of coverage in the media. Well, the judge couldn't have that. So she slapped the tightest gag order I've ever seen on this case. I mean, she all but said, you aren't even allowed to think about this case. Now, gag orders are a natural thing, but it's been said many times, a gag order should be a last resort, not a first resort. So it's already starting off a little bit sus, right? So even though this went before the Arkansas Supreme Court and they did throw out that gag order, what has to happen next?
As I started going through all this, the corruption runs deep in this county.
Is the daggone judge down there in Arkansas. For those of you that haven't seen the Aaron Spencer case, just let me break it down for you real quick. That same judge that gave the offender little to no bail so he could get out and run the streets again has picked up the case for Aaron, and they're trying to charge him with second degree, you know what.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't think anybody should have to sit in jail and wait for an incompetent state, an incompetent county, and a corrupt sheriff to put them in jail for the rest of their life. I don't think they should have to wait. This is very blatantly a case of self-defense and a man protecting his daughter.
He's charged with some pretty serious crimes, all because he protected his 13-year-old daughter from the predator, and that man was subject to a gag order for months. Doesn't matter if it's criminal or civil. Any court can impose a gag order. If you're not following the Aaron Spencer case, and especially if you're a parent, you're going to want to follow it. And just to give you a teaser, let me ask you this. You were charged with 43 felonies. Each one of those felonies had to do with inappropriate contact with a 13-year-old. Oh, and you're 67 years old and a former law enforcement officer. What do you think your bond would be? Now, if you're the father of that 13-year-old, how far would you go to protect her? When that 67-year-old violated the only condition of his $50,000 bond and came to Aaron Spencer's house at 1 a.m. and kidnapped his 13-year-old daughter, who just happened to be the star witness against him in those 43 felonies he was charged with, Aaron Spencer did what none of us want to do, but what any good parent would do if pushed to the edge. Yeah, there are gag orders in criminal court designed to look like it was for Aaron Spencer's benefit.
Aaron Spencer, 36, of Carlisle, whose prosecution has prompted more than 195,000 people to sign a petition calling for him to be absolved of the charges, is set to appear in court for a pretrial hearing on December 17th. The order from Judge Barbara Elmore, who, by the way, got slapped down by the Arkansas Supreme Court, and rightfully so. She should recuse herself from this case, by the way, based on what she's handled this.
I did not understand why a gag order was placed on this. It didn't make sense to me. Now, we're finding out this is the first gag order that this district attorney, Chuck Graham, has even asked for in over 15 years. Tell me there's not something up.
A father protecting his daughter should never be seen like this. So we're going to take that shit down. And we're going to put this one. Because this man right here protected his 13-year-old daughter from a 67-year-old PDF file. Okay? He went in one night to check on her. She was gone. He located her in the truck with a 67-year-old PDF file. So what did he do? Well, let's just say he's not going to court.
Thing is trying to create a fair trial. But if openness is bad, secrecy is not good.
Right.
It has the direct opposite effect.
Exactly. The effort to shield these proceedings from public view also didn't begin with a gag order. It started with the circuit court's decision to arraign the defendant away from public view, and even setting aside the potential constitutional concerns raised by a non-public arraignment. That decision highlights the order on review here isn't an isolated problem. More court precedents, and it talks about William Blackstone commentaries of the person by secretly hurrying him to jail where his sufferings are unknown or forgotten. I love this judge, by the way.
Yeah, this
is a less public and less striking, and therefore a more dangerous engine of arbitrary government.
And this last paragraph right here, Paul.
Which one?
Ultimately, so I join the majority.
So I joined the majority's decision granting the writ and vacating the gag order, but I would go a step further. The repeated attempts to veil these proceedings in secrecy can only breed ignorance and distrust of the courts and suspicion concerning the competence and impartiality of the entire criminal justice system.
The activities going on with the Lonoke County, Arkansas officials. With everybody talking about it, now they pushed the trial out 4 months.
So if you're wondering what else there could be, you're asking the right questions. Did you know that the charges against Aaron Spencer, they were never indicted by a grand jury?